Well, hello. Good morning, everybody. I'm Nicole Strauss, CEO with Greg Luther Coaching. Obviously, I am not Greg. Greg is on the road today. We're going to keep rolling with it because I know all the stuff he wanted to talk about, and I'm going to bring it to you today. A little bit about me before we get into it. For those of you who don't know, I've been working with Greg I'm entering my 12th year now. Greg's been doing this for 25 years with our real estate agents and our community nationwide. And I am entering year 12. Kind of hard to believe that it's actually been 12 years. We used to travel from all the different states doing tons of live events. You heard Greg talk about the road shows he used to do where we go into city tours and kind of meet with agents across the entire country. Now we do a lot of the things online because we can meet with even more of you and it makes it easier for everybody. So that's been great. But over the years, I've seen a lot of things. We've seen a lot of market changes. We've seen great times, we've seen bad times, but the biggest thing are those that persevere and keep building their business. So I want to get into some of the top things, actually 3 things our top agents are doing to produce consistent income. You know, we have lots of live trainings. We have all of our members with our Inner Circle coaching group. We do all of our coaching calls regularly, typically 2 a month, sometimes 3, depending on how the weeks fall, and various programs in between. So a lot of you are our Inner Circle members here. And then we have other viewers who are chiming in here, but they're not fully sure what everything's about. So I want to talk about what our members, the top agents, are doing and how they're generating consistent incomes by practicing what we preach. So a couple of those things. Number 1, make some notes today so that you can go back to a few of the things that I'm referring to. So the first things first that they do are they attend all of our training calls. So we have our Inner Circle coaching calls every other Thursday, typically 2 p.m. Eastern, unless we have a weird schedule change due to the holidays or if we have a live event. But on those coaching calls, we bring to you tons of important information. We often give you a worksheet or a new marketing template. And if you're not on them live, you're probably not going to see them. The biggest thing and mistake that I see happen is that everyone says, oh, I'll go watch the recording or I'll go check it out another time. But then life gets busy. You're working in the business in the hustle and bustle, and then you're not on that call. So I do encourage you to make those calls live, because then you're also able to ask your Q&A. You're able to learn from the group. We facilitate tons of Q&A in there. Greg takes questions live. Him and I go back and forth. And I'm also typing like a warrior behind the scenes to try to get everybody answered in the Q&A as well. So those live calls are extremely important. So some of the recent call topics have included how to quadruple your business using your sphere of influence. Tons of you make money with your sphere of influence and your ongoing referrals. And in one of those coaching calls, we talked about 7 things you should be doing and gave you a worksheet. So for reference point, all of these calls are in the 2024 Q4 section on the members website under coaching calls. You go down to Q4 2024. So you're going to see that call there. So that's 7 things that you can be doing to guarantee income with your sphere of influence. Now, we don't ever want you to be just dependent on your sphere of influence, right? You want to be doing other things, marketing, doing your niches, everything else. So we then moved into mapping out your income for 2025. We then moved into some of our best ads and strategies of 2024 because the best of often rolls forward. So we want to make sure that you guys are taking what we've determined as the true and tried practices, the tested approaches. A lot of times, we have our platinum members and our other subsets of our groups who test things for us, because before we open our mouths to any of you, we want to make sure that it's tested and working. So we did a really strong call on that. And there was a great business plan there too. And then we moved into the full business planning for 2025. And then we rounded off last week's call with some big changes coming up. You heard about this on last week's morning meeting with the email changes and what's going to be happening there. We try to bring everything all the time to you as soon as we hear about it. So if Facebook makes a change, we let you know. If Gmail or Google or any of the things make a change, we like to bring it to you. So we try to stay on top of all that information to be helpful. So first things first, attend all those calls. And if you haven't attended them, please go back and review the coaching call library. Second thing our top producers are doing is that they implement and they focus on execution. So as I mentioned earlier, it makes absolutely no sense to have a plan if you're not going to do anything with it. We can plan to go to the gym. We can plan to see our family more. We could plan to do big things in business. And we could think all these great things about losing weight and family time and how big our business can be. But if we actually don't implement and take action, nothing's going to happen, right? So everybody knows that. So the second thing is implementing and focusing on execution. You want to make sure that you're mapping it out and then taking the time to do it. I don't want anybody to ever get overwhelmed because there's lots of different things that, we release, and you can only do so much at one time. You might be a lone wolf agent, right? Or you might have a team, but take little bits at a time and just execute. And the plan doesn't have to be perfect. Perfection kills progress. Write that down. And let me tell you guys some inside baseball. I love to try to be perfect at everything. And that's not possible. First of all, I can't hold myself to that crazy standard. I am human. I'm allowed to make mistakes. I hate making mistakes, but I am allowed. But if I were to just focus on everything needed to be absolutely perfect before I released it to you guys, there would be no progress. So perfection kills progress. Make sure you understand that for yourself. That's our own inner head self-talk that we have that drives ourselves crazy. And you're not going to be able to execute and implement if you are waiting for everything to look perfect. And even if you think it looks perfect, something's going to come up that's going to be a snag or a kink in the system, and you're going to have to fix something. And that's okay, because mistakes are how we learn. So the more mistakes you make a lot of time, just like we talk about wins and losses, you have to have some losses and mistakes in order to fail, but that helps you fail forward because you learn from them and then you can make it better. So that second thing, again, is implement and focus on execution. You want to make sure you're actually doing stuff. And then the third thing is dedicate your on the business time. So our top agents realize there's a difference between in the business and on the business. So in the business is the crazy kind of circus monkeys, the going to appointments, the meeting people, the running around, the putting the signs in the yard, the taking pictures, the actual execution of your business. That's in your business. You're doing the hustle, but you want to make sure that you're putting time for on the business. And this is where you're doing that planning, you're building your marketing plan, you're setting forth routines for yourself and for any of the team members that you might have with you. So you want to make sure that you have a marketing calendar going and you're doing what we call our power hour. And you've heard us talk about this before, but the power hour is, I do it in the mornings. It's our morning time where we dedicate to, okay, what's the plan look like for today that I need to execute? And what can I look at for what's on the business to come, and making sure I have everything in alignment. Now that hour could be different time of day for you. You might do it in the morning. You might do it at night. You might do it the night before your day. Whatever motivates you to spend that time to actually dedicate it on the business is what matters. So make sure you have your marketing calendars. We use paper calendars here. We're already planning. Guys, look, this is 2025. I can't show it too close. I have a lot of things in pencil because we might rearrange, but once there's a highlighter, I'm going to hold it far. You could see the highlighters. Once there's a highlighter mark, that means something's coming out. And I already have pages of what we're doing and where we're going to be, and our events and our live events and our coaching calls. We have strategies and topics that we want to talk about. This is our on the business time that we're planning to bring you the best of what we can do in the coaching world, right? So you guys need to be doing that for your own business. What niches are you tackling? What marketing do you want to get out? Are you running online ads? Do you have offline ads? Has your print orders been executed? Because the printer needs time to print any of those marketing pieces. So if you think, oh, okay, today's Tuesday, I want to get this postcard out in the mail. It's not going in the mail today. You have to design it. You have to send it to the printer. They need time to produce it. Then it needs to go through the mail. So that card, your thought might be, today I'm going to do a postcard, but it's actually not hitting for a couple weeks. So each of those little nuances and things that you want to execute, you definitely need to be thinking about, because it takes planning. And again, you don't need perfection or else the plan might not happen, but you need to have some sort of on the business time to do those plans. So that way you make sure you're not missing anything. And for those that have a team, you lean on your team. And for those that are the lone wolf, Do not become overwhelmed. Just do bite-sized nuggets. And that's where I'll say, go to the member site, find a template. Okay, today I'm going to do the life changes postcard, and we're going to get this out because if there's a life change, we know that there could be a real estate change. And with everything shifting recently and interest rates kind of just adjusting, maybe now's the time. So now we're going to plan for that life changes postcard. That's one nugget, and get it out the door. Then tackle something else. So there's no reason that you need to create this kind of chaos in your world or chaos in your life. You can execute thoroughly by just doing a few things at a time. And again, if you have a team, lean on your team. The things that you don't like doing, have them do. Have them prepare the different stuff. Have them go into Canva and download templates. We had the Agent Success Day a couple weeks ago, and then we had the Get Your Ass in Gear Day last week. And sometimes everybody just needs a swift kick in the booty of what we need to do. And although it's not the most sexy or the most fun, the foundational model, guys, do it. We had so many people on that day talking about how many letters they mailed, how many appointments they secured because they were actually doing it. So you don't want to listen to the word, oh, foundation, and that's basic and boring and I don't like it. No, that means that's the base of what your business is built on. A foundation to a house secures and it fixes the whole house to the ground. You need a foundation for your business. So get that thought out of your head. We do get some questions like that where someone's like, oh, I just don't want to do that. Okay, well then don't do it and then don't make money. Simple enough, right? I mean, that's the hard truth of the matter. So, and make sure if you're not following us on this channel, you're doing it. Most of you who are on here are probably subscribed. If you are watching us for the first time, make sure you subscribe to our channel. And if you are not on Greg's email list, make sure you go to gregsprioritylist.com and you subscribe. And then if you are new to our channel, we have tons of social media out there. Everything is always at Greg Luther Coaching. So look for our channels. It's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, but most importantly, YouTube, because this is where we're able to bring you some larger format content and education.